problem. Why do we say names? Names are very important. We call a thing so that
Yes.
you don't confuse your people.
Yes.
Something cannot be white and then you turn around and say it's black, or you try to describe the whiteness in a different manner that will make the audience think it's black. It's
Yes.
still a deceit.
Mm.
So it goes in line with our topic. The greatest seal of victory over Africa is identifying with colonial name changes. It's also identifying with criminal political brothers and sisters. It's also um, um, identifying with things that is not in line with who you are as a person. Each like you have checked and it's not making sense, but because you were told this is who you're supposed to be, you continue to walk in that framework when that framework is actually against your entire being. According to Isaiah 58, from 6 to 8, it says, "Is not this the kind of fasting I have chosen? To loosen the chains of injustice and untie the cords of the yoke, to set the oppressed free and break every yoke." Name change or name is the first identification of any individual or entity. It is the way you know and perceive yourself. It's your heritage as well as your ancestral roots. You know, we name ourselves even according to who our grandmother was when she was here, how they behaved. So we know how much name or even our naming ceremony it is to us. In most ancient African cultures, naming ceremony is one of the most significant events associated with new births because they know this name is going to drive who you are as a person. It will follow you into eternity. It involves discovering and often reshaping the destiny of that child. According to biblical records, names of every significant individuals and places were changed to redirect their purpose in life. So how then do we explain that up till now? None of our noisy, spiritual, blind, religious, big wearing, littered all over Nigeria, they have not seen the urgency in joining the efforts of indigenous peoples to loosen the chains of injustice and untie the cords of colonial yoke. They have not seen it as urgent to set the oppressed free and break every yoke holding Nigerians down. Instead, oh, I forgot their political partners. They are partners in our subjugation. China, India, Ethiopia, Burkina Faso, they have been able to resist and or take off the cloak of slavery and colonialism because they, to a great extent, retain their original indigenous names, heritage, language, religion, and culture. The indigenous peoples in the North Nigeria are today being massacred and displaced to IDP camps, with their original towns and villages renamed so that future generations will never lay claims to those lands and the rich resources in that ancestral land. So where you have been captured and defeated, your name changes. Imagine the effort that our people put into their name changing. Even the ones that were answering Igbo name, if their name is Chidi, they will put a T in between the Chidi to call it Chiti or something like that, just to English elevated the name so that they will begin to look like an Englishman. When your conquerors are only looking at you as a conquered slave, jacked up, lying son of a gun, for thinking you can be them, for abandoning who you are for sure to follow them. The colonial Christian missionaries, they made it a mark of repentance for the names of children and new converts to be changed from names that reflect and connect them to their original indigenous families, kinsmen, community, even their rich heritage, history, and ancestral legacy into meaningless and worthless colonial names that will connect them to new slave owners, just like their siblings who landed in Europe and America in slave ships. There's no connections, no links, and no claims. I know a lot of our people, even back here, they will children, when they go outside the home, they will call their children English name, and then when they come home, they will call them their Igbo name. What a confusing thing for a child, because we are trying to belong. I even get confused about who my friends are up to today, because Outside there, they're answering English name, but when they meet you as an Igbo person, they will tell you their Igbo name. So when somebody meets you and say, "Oh, you know your friend Jennifer," I'm like, "Who is that?" So Jennifer is the other person. So today, as we dive into the matters of supremacy of colonialism in our existence, truth, liberation, and self-determination for all our nations, because we are still in captives, bearing all slaves' labelings and preserving all their colonial limiting structures. But according to Chronicles, chapter 2, no, Second Chronicles, chapter 7, I'm sorry, verses 14, it reminds us of God's love for us. And it says that if my people who are called by his name, like Monachim Saga, the rest of us, will humble ourselves and pray and seek our face and turn from our wicked ways, he said, then I will hear from heaven and I will forgive their sins and I will heal their lands. So the word of God is there for you guys that follow people that are there to hold you down, for the Nigerian government to continue to rape you, the Nigerian government and their cronies, even when they are fake governors. We know they are fake governors. Once they give a land to a certain man, in a religious man, everybody will forget how he took the position from his brother and become a governor. Nobody is talking about that anymore. Deceit everywhere, lies everywhere. Can we even start with Ezoku Wondo? Take off your shoes, put your feet on the ground, and begin with Ezoku Bondo. Let's start from there. I will pull up the PowerPoint while my sister add on.
Yes, please continue to help us to share and like. We're telling our people. You can see all the countries, like my sister mentioned, that were able to resist the evil one, the colonial monsters, we call them. They are very serious about their names. Your name has to reflect who you are as individuals and collectively. Mention Burkina Faso. They used to call them Upper Volta, but today they answer Burkina Faso. Some say the land of the righteous, some say the land of the honorable people, but it's their local name that makes meaning, that has sense, that makes sense. What does Nigeria mean? We're asking. You are still bearing the label, the tag given to you by the colonial monsters, and you are asking what is happening to you. You don't know who you are, you don't know your identity, you don't know anything. That's where you begin sense, you understanding what is happening to you. I'll allow my sister to continue.
Yep, that's where you begin. The greatest seal of victory over Africa is identifying with the colonial name changes.
Sorry, the PowerPoint went off. It came
Oh,
out, flashed, and then disappeared.
I'm looking at it over here. Okay,
Yes.
let's see.
Continue to share, please. Continue to like, hit the like buttons because we know what they're doing. So Facebook recently came out and apologized to the Americans for what he did. So we know what they're doing. We told you that's what they do. They've used algorithm to stop important information that should get to the people and make them to behave and be better human beings because they want to take advantage of you and make money and become billionaires and the greed, capitalists. They never stop acquiring wealth.
Nope, nope. These people will sell their mothers, their sisters, their brother, anything along the way. They must be so. It's on sale to them.
Yeah.
Everything and anything is on sale. Is the PowerPoint on?
Yes, it's on now, please. Thank you.
Okay. All right. So usually when I go, when I'm on this PowerPoint, I can see what's happening on the back. So the greatest seal of victory over Africa is identifying with colonial name changes. And let's look at our objectives today, which we've done in production. We are going to look at definitions and significances. We are going to look at the Nigerian system as the system of the colonizer. It's still the system of colonizer. That's why when anything happens, former prime ministers will catch flight to Ugwu. They will go to the northern part to go and make sure that their machine, the oil is still there for things to be rolling according to their chapters. We know that church is a major colonial tool for spreading ignorance and fear because we see what is happening to our people. They can't even reason anymore. They act like Iguatro, like you can't do anything with them. They are so into praising whoever they think they are praising when they are only idol worshiper. When all you guys is doing is worship a man because of what he has to say, and it's not even manifesting. It's not even manifesting. Whatever he's saying, look at the amount of prayers. People, look at, we'll show you pictures of all these so-called men of God. The amount of prayers these people have laid on Nigeria, there's no reason why we should not be super
We call it prayer.
economy.
It's not prayer, my dear. Our God calls it abomination. It's not going anywhere. It will not pass the roof.
It doesn't pass the roof.
It
And
doesn't.
people will go there and spend everything that they have. They will abandon their children, abandon their husband, abandon their work, abandon everything because they have to go to the service.
Yeah, it's market strategy. They gather them. The people do not know that the person gathering them is gathering them to make money from them. And they think they're going there to pray to God. Meanwhile, the prayer is not passing the roof because it's abomination unto God. We'll break it down for you, my people, in the show. Thank you.
More voices, thank you. More voices rising in support of Nina's constitutional reset propositions. Don't mind how they are coming out to say it, because we'll show you how it's supposed to be done. We look at some take-home points, announcements, and remind you guys of the catalog that we are using for our campaign. So, of course, we cannot move forward without reminding everyone that we are still in the Osman Dan Fodio's estate. Until we get out of these estates, nothing will move for anyone. Anyone lying to themselves, whether you call yourself World Igbo Congress, the same group of people that sign up for the other man that claimed that he's bringing freedom. All of a sudden now, they're asking themselves again, please, these are people I know. I saw some of them in the ad. They cannot manage a wife and 2 kids. These are the men that their wives are locking. They're so stupid. Their wife I didn't even know they have fridge with keys in it. Their wives are buying fridge with keys so they can lock the dofe.
Hey!
They don't even deserve to eat the dofe.
Hey!
Now they are there. Who are they deciding for? Manage your wife and your 4 kids first. The first primary job that God gave you. Manage it first. Tell me that your wife and your children are happy. You have done that job very well. And then we can talk about other issues. Right now, you're incompetent. You don't get to rule our people.
Yep.
You don't.
Nope.
Get out of here, man.
Get out of here with that mess.
He said we on fire this morning. Marijuana.
I'm going to Holy Ghost fire.
The real one. The real one.
I'm fire. I'm fire. I'm fire.